have to switch to my phone. I'm going to
Okay.
log out and then go back to my phone. I'm on my laptop, but I need to leave the office right now, so I'm going to switch to my phone.
Okay. Um, yeah. Do you need a couple of minutes to do that?
Yes. If so,
Okay.
thank you. The phone number that I'm using is not allowing me to come in as it's allowing me to come it's not allowing me to come in as an attendee, but just as a guest where I can just listen.
Uh, Not sure how to address this.
We could send you just the link directly, and could you maybe just click on that instead of calling in? Like, do you have Zoom on your phone or something?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to call on the phone, but I do have Zoom on my phone. Let
Okay.
me see.
I can drop the link.
Okay, thank you. You have my number?
I think so.
Okay, thank you so much.
I think you're in that group chat, right? Did you get it just now, or did I put it in a different group chat?
I also sent it to you directly, Commissioner Watts.
Yeah, I'm not in any group chats anymore for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I just sent it to you directly.
I didn't receive anything yet.
Okay, how about now? I put it in our group chat with I think everybody.
Yeah, I'm not in the group chat for some reason. I don't get any messages from you guys anymore.
Okay,
Okay,
could
what? Go.
no, I was gonna say, can you send your phone number in the chat box to expedite this?
Yeah, if you could just. Okay. Yeah, I just sent it to you directly also.
Yes, Commissioner Rogers?
Okay, yeah. You got me?
Okay. Yep. So we have a quorum now. Again, apologies for the delay. This is the ANC 6E, January 29th, 2026 meeting. I will start by doing a roll call to make sure that we have quorum, and it's 6:44 p.m. right now. I will start by calling the single member district 6E01, Commissioner Aladif. I don't think he's here. 6E02, Commissioner Watts.
Here.
Okay. 6E03, Commissioner Rogers.
Here.
6E04 is vacant. 6E05 present. 6E06.
Here.
6E07. 6E08.
Here.
6E09.
Present.
Great. So we have a quorum with 6 commissioners in attendance, one vacancy, and then we have 2 absent commissioners. And with that, we will move to the election of the new officers for 2026. Thank you, former Chair Hart and current constituent of ANC 6E, Chris Hart, for managing the elections.
Hey, everyone. Good to be back. Can you hear me?
Yep. Oh, I think I should probably just promote you as a panel so you can turn on your camera. Just
Yeah,
one
if you could.
second.
Great. Okay. All
Great.
right. Well, hello, everybody. Great to see some familiar faces. My name's Chris Hart. I'm a former commissioner for SMD 6E01. And I will be conducting the officer election tonight. So just as a reminder, I have the bylaws pulled up. So the order of nomination shall be chair, vice chair, secretary, and then treasurer. We'll go one by one through those offices. Each candidate will be nominated by a member of the commission and seconded by another member of the commission. If you wish, you may offer a nomination speech. Then I'll ask you if you accept the nomination, and then we will vote. A majority is required for each position. So I will go ahead and open nominations for the position of chair.
Great. I would like to nominate myself to be the chair for 2026.
Okay, Commissioner Abu Khalaf has nominated himself as chair. Do we have a second?
Yeah, I second it.
Okay, Commissioner Hans is seconded. And Commissioner Abu Khalaf, do you accept nomination?
I do.
Okay. Any other nominations for the position of chair? Okay. Not hearing any, we will close the nominations for chair and proceed to a vote. So all those, since we only have one nominee, all those voting in favor of Commissioner Abu Khalaf for chair, please vote aye.
Aye.
I, aye.
Okay, I heard 4 ayes. Commissioner Kaufman or Commissioner Watts, do you have a vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and any nays? All right, not hearing any. Congratulations, Commissioner Abu Khalaf. The vote passes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ayes and 0 nays. All right, moving right along then, I will open nominations for vice chair.
I'd like to nominate myself.
Okay, Commissioner Hans has nominated himself. Any seconds?
I second.
Okay, Commissioner Abu Khalaf has seconded. Commissioner Hans, do you accept the nomination?
Yes.
Okay. And any other nominees for vice chair? Okay, not hearing any, we will close nominations and move on to voting. Again, since we just have one nominee, we'll do a simple um, yay or nay. Um, all those voting in favor, please vote aye.
I
I, I,
Aye.
Okay. And Commissioner Hans, I think that was
Aye.
an aye.
Yeah.
Okay. And Commissioner Watts, I'm not sure if you okay. And all those voting nay? All right, so I heard five ayes and zero nays. So congratulations, Commissioner Hans. All right. Next up is secretary. So I'd like to open the nominations for that position.
um, I will self-nominate, but I have a procedural question.
Yeah.
Um, if there is no one to self-nominate for treasurer, I am willing to assume that. But since the sequence of elections puts secretary first, I don't want to encumber two positions. So if elected, can I resign immediately? And if the treasurer, if no one else nominates for treasurer, do you see the issue here?
Uh, I do. And I'm looking to the bylaws and I'm just seeing if there's a way we could do this.
Can we do treasurer
I guess
first?
the other option is just to not have any nominations for secretary and
Keep it open.
move on to treasurer.
That is a possibility too. Unless someone else wants to nominate themselves for treasurer, perhaps they could put it in the panelist chat for our visibility, but I have no awareness of another commissioner wishing to be secretary or treasurer for that matter.
Um,
It's fine if you want to proceed
yeah, I think
to treasurer if there's no
just
fixed order.
yeah, I mean the bylaws do prescribe an order, so
Well, they do.
I think we would just have to not have a nominee for secretary.
Okay.
I believe that's okay. The only positions that cannot be vacant are chair and treasurer. And then
Then,
we could go back and
yeah,
you could go back and fill the secretary position at another time.
that's fine.
Okay. All right. So so the nominations for secretary are open. Um, I'll give it a minute. If we don't receive any nominations, we will move on to treasurer. Okay, not hearing any, the position of secretary will be vacant for the time being. All right, and then we'll conclude. I'll open nominations for the treasurer position.
I will self-nominate for the position of treasurer.
Okay, great. Thank you. Commissioner Prince has nominated himself. Would someone like to second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Commissioner Kaufman has seconded. Commissioner Prince, do you accept the nomination?
I do.
Okay. Any other nominees for treasurer? Okay, not hearing any, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I'm hearing six ayes, so the ayes have it. Congratulations, Commissioner Prince.
Thank you.
So that concludes the officer election. And again, great to be back with you all for a brief moment. I'll turn the meeting back over to Chair Abu Khalaf.
Thank you so much. It was really good to see you. Quick question.
Yeah.
Um, do you think we would have to have an external, um, community member, constituent to run the next, like if we have an election just to fill the secretary role next month or the following, do you know if we
Um,
need to have an I can also ask the Office of
I
ANC if it's not listed in the bylaws. I
I
don't
yeah,
remember.
I would look to
Don't believe
yes.
that it
So
was listed in the
the
bylaws.
bylaws do say that they will be held in accordance with Section 2, which is the election procedures. I'm happy to come back to assist with the
Okay,
secretary election
okay,
at a
that's
future
good.
meeting.
That
Yeah.
promise is good enough.
All right.
It's assuring. Great. Thank you again, Chris. And
Yep.
it's good to see you.
Good to see you all. Take care.
Great. Okay. So moving to the next part, which is a vote on the agenda for today's meeting. Let me just pull it up quickly. Um, sorry, shared the wrong screen. Share the agenda. So we already started with the first item, actually two first items, and just completed the election of the new officers for 2026. So the agenda, we will be voting quickly on approving meeting minutes. Again, if you have not had the chance to review the draft minutes, you can abstain. We will have discussion and an update with Council Member Robert White that will include a segment for questions and answers. We will have the regular or the monthly updates from Council Member Allen's office, Mayor's office, public safety update from MPD. There's a request for ANC 6E support for the special events license for the St. Jude's Rock and Roll DC Half Marathon and 5K, since it will have some um, impacts, some road closures in 6E. We would have to vote on methods to advertise monthly meetings. We would have to vote on the monthly meeting schedule. I think there was a suggestion for moving the meeting to the last Wednesday of each month, so we can discuss that. We'd have to vote on continuing the meeting minute services by Karen and Yell, approve the FY25 financial report for Q4 FY25 open forum, and then based on the vote on the meeting schedule, we would um, decide on the next meeting for February and then adjourn. Any comments, questions, additions on the agenda before we vote on it? Okay. Um, Not hearing any, I can make a motion to approve the agenda for ANC 6E January 29th, 2026 meeting. Anyone would like to second?
A second.
So Commissioner Abukalov moved and Commissioner Rogers seconded a motion to approve the agenda for the ANC 6E January 29, 2026 meeting. I'll be calling on your single member district to vote on the resolution. Commissioner Watts.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Commissioner Rogers.
Yes.
Commissioner Kaufman.
Aye.
Aye. Commissioner Prince
Aye.
and Commissioner Hans.
I
Great. So the resolution passes with 6 ayes, 0 nays, and no abstains. Um, Moving quickly to the next item, which is a vote on the meeting minutes. Um, we have a couple of meeting minutes that we have not approved from 2025. Again, if you did not get the chance to review, feel free to abstain. So I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for September special meeting, November 2025 meeting, and December 2025 meeting minutes. Anyone would like to second?
I'll second that.
Great. So Commissioner Abukaloff moved and Commissioner Prince seconded. Motion to approve the meeting minutes for the September special meeting, the November and December 2025 meetings as well. I'll be calling on you to vote. Again, if you did not get the chance to review the draft minutes, you can abstain. Commissioner Watts.
I'm sorry, you guys, you sound really low. I had to switch to my phone, but I have not had a chance to review the meeting.
Okay, no problem. You can just abstain.
Okay.
Okay. Commissioner Rogers.
Yes.
Okay. I vote aye. Commissioner Kaufman,
I
and then Commissioner Prince,
Aye.
Commissioner Hans.
I
Great. So the motion moves with 5 ayes, 1 abstain, and 0 nays. Let's see. Um, Councilmember White, have you joined the meeting yet? I don't see you or anyone from Councilmember White's office. You have joined the meeting. You could use the raised hand option. Okay. So someone.
Hi, Councilmember White will join shortly.
Yeah, I think I see Councilmember Robert White in the list of attendees now. Good afternoon, Councilmember White. Thanks for joining us. I think you're still on mute. We can see you, but we cannot hear you yet.
All right, excellent. Yeah, sorry about that.
All
I've got to
good.
fix my angle somehow. I'm just got into my house after a long day of meetings and heading back out for more meetings. So, my apologies, but glad to be with you this evening.
All good. We can see you and hear you perfectly. Thanks for joining us. So as we discussed before, it would be great to hear from you. If you can give us an update about a couple of topics that we talked about, public safety, housing, and any other updates from your office. And then we could save some time for Q&A with the commissioners or constituents who are joining us.
Perfect. Love to. And Commissioner, thank you for having me. Thanks to everyone for being with us this evening. So I want to touch on a couple things. No secret to anyone here that we are really in unprecedented times in our city. We are seeing, not only our normal public safety challenges, but we're dealing with those in a time where we also have a large federal presence. Now, this makes me really uncomfortable because we're seeing in real time what federal officers are doing in other parts of the country. But it's also important to know that we are not completely exempt from what's happening. In fact, I met today with the mother of a man, Mr. Davis, Philip Davis, who was shot at by federal officers in DC several weeks ago. This man is the father of three girls. I'm the father of two girls. He apparently is, he was not physically injured. His clothing was grazed by the bullet. They went into his vehicle, but the emotional trauma apparently has been a lot. And we are seeing a lot of tensions between residents and federal officers in DC and across the country. And that's something that concerns me a lot as a city leader. And I believe that you can be serious about public safety and serious about people's rights and home rule at the same time. So I am very interested in figuring out how we best protect DC residents. And I will tell you, I think that our local government has an obligation to step up for people. If federal officials are firing on somebody who has not committed or been thought to have committed a crime, um, we have to step up. I mean, that is an offense. I can't, as a government official, ANC commissioners can't, as government officials, fire shots at people and expect nothing to happen. And I think residents expect the same if it's federal officials. And so, of course, we're in a more difficult situation, but it's something that we have got to address. Um, on the local issues, I think that we have to take two approaches, on the normal crime that we're seeing in our city. And I know in your SMD and your ANC area, this is something that you all have seen, especially in the warmer months. We need accountability when people are committing crime. So they have to be brought before the courts in a timely manner, tried fairly. And we are also better off if we're making efforts to reduce crime before it happens. And so I've been a huge proponent of things like job training. I've been pushing really hard over the past year and a half on trade and vocational education. I want to see a huge expansion of that in our city. Now, I think when people have good paying careers, when they have something to lose, they are less inclined to commit crime. So this is something that I think we've got to focus on in addition to the normal accountability. Um, in terms of housing, which continues to be a huge issue and a huge strain on our city, I will say what a lot of people know, which is that our housing system is under stress. There are affordability challenges. There are challenges in terms of habitability. I know in your area, there are buildings that are not very old that are having significant problems. And we've got to pull these things together. So a few things that I'm doing in this space. One, I'm visiting many apartments across our city to examine issues and understand, are the issues we're seeing because of slumlords? Are the issues we're seeing because people aren't paying rent? Are the issues because of the buildings being, built in a quick and cheap way to begin with or managed poorly? And so looking at various ways to address those things. One, I've pushed the council and the city to make a significant policy shift to start to focus on housing preservation. And so we have the vast majority of apartment buildings in our city are 50 years old or older, and they are having issues. If I'm a landlord and I don't want to raise rent, but I want to keep my building in a good condition for people, then I'm not going to need funding. And so we throw so much money at building new buildings, but we have not prioritized preservation. So I've really been working to push us in a different direction. I'm proud to report to you that for this fiscal year, I got $30 million for housing preservation to keep affordable housing affordable and to keep buildings in good condition. I recently introduced along with the Attorney General, the Strong Homes Act. And this bill strengthens, this is for the bad landlords, tenant receiverships and related enforcement tools so that DC can move faster in the more serious cases of chronic building negligence and dangerous conditions. I don't want to see a long process before the Attorney General can appoint a receiver or take enforcement action. So we're working together to speed that up. And the intent here is to protect tenants from displacement, to accelerate repairs, to get relief for people, and to get people living in good conditions with good landlords much more quickly. For folks facing emergency hard times, I have continued to work really hard to get money invested into the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, or ERAP. We've been able to get it as high as over $60 million in some years, much lower in this current fiscal year. My goal for the next budget, which we'll start working on soon, will be at least $27 million. But really want to work to get that money where it needs to be. We have, again, on the preservation side, going to be fighting for the small building program grants of $5 million. I have a lot of small building owners who reach out to me for support. They want to keep rents low, but they need money to fix up the building. So we're trying to keep that program strong, and want to get money into DOPA, the District Opportunity to Purchase Act. The district has the ability to purchase buildings. We've never exercised it. I want to put $10 million into this so that when we need to take control of a building to keep it affordable, we can do that. Last thing I want to mention is similar to where I started. This has a lot to do with public safety. It also has a lot to do with careers and just helping people be able to afford to live in the city and being conscious of where our economy is going. A lot of industries and jobs are changing because of artificial intelligence. But jobs that have not yet changed in a big way are the jobs that you do with your hands. And these are jobs where you can make really good money. So whether it's a 10th or 11th grader who's saying, look, I don't plan to go to college, I'm not sure why I'm still in school, or a young adult who wants to be able to afford to continue to live in the city. I want to make sure that there's a healthy trade and vocational pipeline to get people into these good paying careers. I'm talking electricians, carpenters, plumbers, careers where you can make 60, 70, $80,000 with a high school diploma. I believe we can do a much better job of getting people, including our young people, into these career pipelines. So in a nutshell, that's some of what we are working on right now. There are no shortage of emergencies happening, whether it's the federal government or the ICE all over the ground, like the literal ICE, not the agency. There's just no shortage of emergencies in our city. And this is a time of significant leadership transition. So I'm trying to be really focused on what are the most important, urgent issues. What things can we do that are going to make the biggest impact? And that's where my team and I are trying to put our time. And I just want to take the opportunity to give a shout out to my team who have really been pushing hard for many, many months, many years to try to produce for residents. But commissioners, that in a nutshell is what we are working on and where we're trying to go in the near term.
Yeah, this is really helpful. I have a quick um, question, and I know that this is more on the executive side, but in my single member district, there are a lot of complaints about how the Department of Buildings inspection process is not working for tenants. Like it's taking a lot um, of effort just to get inspectors at the building, and then once it happens, like sometimes it takes a couple of days, and by then, the issue is fixed. But then, like in a couple of days, the boiler in the building is like broken again, and then like they need to wait for like 3 more days to get another inspector. And it seems like there's a lot of fragmentation that like we're not getting a whole building inspection. So they're like cited for like smaller issues, but there's like no comprehensive way to document all of that.
Mhm.
I don't know if there's a legislative fix for that, but this seems to be, a major issue with also some issues like mold being, inspected by a different agency. I think it's Department of Energy, right? And then
Mhm.
like other issues by Department of Building. So like having one um, way or format to comprehensively document all the issues and then have a citation and a fine that would get the landlord to, you know, change their behavior. So, just wanted to raise that, and curious to know if you have any thoughts or if you have thought about, legislative fix that would get the executive branch to do, the task of doing comprehensive inspection and then having, a stick that would, um, push the landlord to fix those
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah, let me take it in reverse order, Chairman. Really good question. So, one thing that we're working on, and Maurice Cates, who's on my team, who's here with me, is taking the lead and is doing incredible work in this space. We so I don't. Oh, sorry about that. I don't. Before we look at increasing the fines, what I believe is a big issue that we need to first try to address is the fine collection. If you're issuing fines but not collecting fines, then the fines don't have the enforcement power that you intend. Maurice and I are actively working through that. My belief at the moment, we are still working through it, but my belief at the moment is that um, collections for these fines should not be done by our central fine collection agency, but should be done by the Department of Buildings. In fact, I believe that the section of the Department of Buildings that collects the fines should be funded by the fines because what I'm seeing is that there is no incentive for the city to collect the fines. And so I'm trying to get to the bottom of that. So that's where I am right now in my thinking. And I'm going to work with Chairman Mendelson, who has jurisdiction over the Department of Buildings on that. And in fact, we have Department of Buildings oversight hearing tomorrow morning. So I'll be there. We are actively working through that. And I am very frustrated and have made this incredibly clear to the Department of Buildings that people are getting the runaround on mold in particular. Agencies are saying, no, I don't do that. That's the other guy. We have to stop that. I want the administration to be very clear about who does mold inspections. And testing and make that happen. But that's something that folks have been trying to get out of. Even the Department of Energy and Environment has been pretty wishy-washy on the mold inspection. So we're digging into that through various hearings and actions. For the inspections themselves, if there are not enough inspectors, then we're going to fund more inspectors. If the issue is different than that, then we need to fix that issue. But this is something that I'm intent to fix in the upcoming budget because it's not something that should be that wildly difficult to fix. Either you don't have enough inspectors or you need more inspectors, or you have broken systems and broken leadership in the agency, and we need different leadership. It's one of those two. Whatever it is, it can't take us a lot longer to fix because the housing condition issues have just gotten out of control.
Thank you so much for this. Uh, Commissioners, any questions or comments for Councilmember White? Commissioner Prince and then Commissioner Hans.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilmember White, for joining us this evening. Nice to meet you virtually. Um, I am interested in knowing a little bit more about the housing preservation effort and particularly sort of where is it directed? What type of housing? Is it for owners? Is it for landlords who want to fix things up? And then sort of building on that, um, how do we find the sweet spot between preserving existing housing, which may be low density, maybe single family, maybe townhouse, and meeting the need for higher density housing, including affordable housing, but obviously new construction of higher density housing will often have to replace existing housing if it's not on a surface lot or some other type of place. So how do we balance these two things?
Well, Commissioner, great question, and nice to meet you and your pup as well. In terms of the preservation funding, it is for multifamily buildings. I believe it is 5 units and more because we have another small buildings program that covers smaller buildings, and but not for single family homes. In terms of that sweet spot, I tend to think, and most people, but not everyone, agrees that generally we need density, and so there's certainly a need for single family homes and garden style apartments, but we do need density, and there's no way we're going to see the cost of housing lower unless there is more housing or many fewer people who want to live here. And the second alternative would just create another set of big problems. So I think we've got to look to density. We've tried some creative things, like working with faith institutions, many of which have a good bit of land here in the city to help and coach them and give them assistance in building housing. But there's actually more room to make improvements there. In my meetings with some pastors and other religious leaders that say, look, we actually want to be part of the solution, but we need a little more financial help. And so I think as we focus on preservation, I'm always try to be careful to say it's not an either or. It's not either we preserve the existing housing or we build new housing. We really have to do both. And if we don't, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. So we're going to have to do both.
Thank you.
Great, Commissioner Hans.
Cool. Thank you. Nice to meet you. I don't really have a question per se, but more just something I wanted to put on your radar. So one of the things that I'm working on right now is a dog park proposal with the Department of Parks. So that was actually just submitted last week. And I'm actually working on this with Commissioner Kishan Puda, who I believe you know.
Yes.
And so essentially there are really no downtown dog parks. The closest is Swamp Doodle, which is in Noma. And so this is like one of the number one asks that we hear from the community is a dog park. And so the proposal is for a dog park on Mass Ave between 4th and 5th. And this is a little bit different because of the fact that it's near high-rise condos, but I was able to get approval from all of the surrounding buildings except for the one to the left of it who want to stay neutral. And I also got 200 signatures when they usually require 100. So there's definitely a lot of interest in this. And so I just wanted to put it on your radar because Councilmember Allen is also going to be supporting this. And I'm working with the mayor's office to also get support, but it might show up in the budget. So when you see it, I want you to just know, hey, that was that guy that brought it up in that ANC meeting. So
I
that's,
appreciate it. Thank
yeah,
you for the heads up. I look forward to seeing it move forward.
thank you.
Great. Other commissioners, any questions or comments for Councilmember White? Or constituents who are with us, we have a couple of minutes. You could use the raised hand option to ask your question live or type it in the Q&A box. While we're waiting on questions, I can ask a quick one. We've heard a lot of updates and discussions about dealing with issues related to congregation of youth, and we have, you know, listened to lots of debates about the curfew. So just getting your thoughts about that. Where do you stand? And also, what kind of solutions have you thought about for these issues and the debates around congregation of youth and whether the curfew is a useful tool?
I appreciate that. I'm glad you brought that up, Commissioner. I've been frustrated by the debate around the juvenile curfew, because here's the deal. Are we having issues with young people in the city causing havoc in certain places and breaking the law? Yet, yes, we are. And But the issues that are used as evidence for the reason we need the curfew are almost always outside of the curfew time. And so if we're going to be about solving problems in the city, then we have to be about solving the problems. The other examples that are given to me as to why we need a youth curfew are examples of youth breaking the law. Well, if youth break the law, we already have a solution for that too. It is accountability. And so we have to increasingly be focused on solving problems and not like politics and gesturing. And I gotta tell you, I'm just really frustrated with it. I see our city continuing to not solve problems, to kind of like throw red meat at people and dodge the issue, then it'll die down and the next emergency comes and we haven't fixed the first one. So, if we want to see less juvenile crime. One, we're going to have to be consistent with our enforcement. And two, we're going to have to continue to focus on where young people are falling through the cracks. It is the lack of trade and vocational opportunities. It is the lack of after school programs and productive things. But as a young person who grew up here, in a time where crime was high and the fingers got pointed at young people, I very much felt like the adults in charge were not paying attention, were not listening, and the actions they were taking were pushing me further to the fringe and not pulling me closer to guide me in the right direction. So, I see a lot of these debates become very quickly political, and I just really think we've got to focus on problem solving.
Um, any other questions by Commissioner? Commissioner House, do you have a question or a comment?
Yeah, just a question. I know you mentioned that you're visiting a lot of different apartments in the city. Was just curious, Judiciary House, if you have plans on visiting there, because they've been under construction for a long time, and they've been promised certain things, I believe. So was just curious. I feel like they've engaged with you before, but just wanted to know if that it's on H Street between Fourth
Yeah,
and Fifth.
yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's been some time since I've been to Judiciary House. I'll check with my team to see if they have reached out to us, but would be happy
Okay.
to visit if it's necessary.
Yeah,
It
because
has been
it's
some time
they
since
could
I've been
use some
there.
help. So
Okay,
yeah,
perfect. Noted.
thank you.
Commissioner Prince?
Yeah, I'm just curious, Councilmember White, whether you saw that story in the Post the other day about Museum Place and the dilemma there where the number of people living has slipped a lot. It's not very thoroughly uh, occupied, and there are multiple problems with the ownership not making repairs and so forth. And it's kind of it looks like maybe there's a there's an effort to persuade people to leave so they can build something else. I don't know. If you didn't see the story, I won't
Yeah, I
press you
appreciate.
for
Yeah,
any
I did. My
comments.
my
But
team is working on it. And I don't have an update from them right now, but my team is working on it.
thank you.
One last issue before we wrap up. There was a comment slash question about the need to address issues at recreation centers under PPR related to understaffing and vacancy. Do you have any thoughts about that issue?
No, I apologize. I'm not up to speed on that. So let me work with my team and my colleagues to get up to speed and see how I can
Okay,
help.
sounds good. And we have a monthly newsletter, so if your team would like to send us any information to include, we're happy to do that. We want to be respectful of your time. We have a couple of minutes left. So anything you would like to leave us with, including your vision, budget, and policy priorities for this year, that would be great.
I appreciate it. So in addition to the things that I mentioned earlier, I just want us to continue to think about and be mindful of DC's protection and home rule. The House and Senate are now poised to overturn a tax measure. We decoupled from the federal taxes because it's a different direction than we want to move as a city. So nothing is safe, and we're going to have to continue to be vigilant and involved. I don't think there's any amount of putting our head down and ducking and covering and hope that nothing will happen. I don't think there's any amount of that that's going to help us, but seeing residents get involved, whether it's through free DC or any other way, has really been heartening to me. And so I encourage people to stay abreast of what's happening. And then for commissioners, as I can be helpful or supportive, please let me know. I had my oversight hearing for the office of ANC today. I have more than doubled the size of the office since I've been on the council, both in terms of its number of staff and its budget, and that is all to serve our commissioners better. So as you all see gaps and needs, please reach out to me and my team because I want to continue to evolve the office of ANC so that the people who are brave enough or silly enough to run to be commissioners will continue to do it because it's a lot of work. So part of my job is to try my best to make it easier, reasonably easier for you to do your jobs well. So please keep us abreast as we can be of service in that area.
Great. Again, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. This was really helpful and insightful, and we will continue communicating with your office. Thanks again for joining us, and have a good night.
You
And
too.
good
Thanks,
luck with the
Commissioner.
rest of your afternoon and your busy schedule.
I appreciate it. One more meeting tonight. So thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
So, moving to the next section of the agenda, which is the update from Councilmember Charles Allen's office. See John with us. Good evening, John. Thank you for joining us. I think you're on mute. I can't hear you yet.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Great. Give me 1 second. My computer's not cooperating.
All good.
Okay. New appointments and appointments,
You're
ANC. Sorry.
you were cutting out, but I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay, so first thing that I want to cover is a new number sworn in.
Actually,
Pardon?
it's yeah, I don't think we can hear you well. Can other commissioners confirm that it's like cutting
Yeah,
off?
it keeps going in and out.
You know what? If Noah wants to go, and then I can kind of sort out my issues
Oh, now we
and
can
come
hear you.
back.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is that better?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, I'll keep going. Um, new interim council member, Patty Crawford. She
Nope.
was,
It's
huh?
it's not working. Okay, let's
Yeah,
let
go
me
to
see if
Noah.
Noah can go. Yeah,
Okay,
let's do that.
I'll be back.
Sounds good. Hello, Noah. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. My name is Noah Bryce Glasgow. I'm Mayor Bowser's Ward 6 Community Relations Manager in her Office of Community Relations and Services. I say it every month, but that's just a fancy way of saying I'm her eyes and ears in Ward 6, and the entry point for DC residents to navigate their government. So this week, obviously, we've been dealing with a snow issue that has turned into ice. So Trey, who is my colleague, who also shares Ward 6, we have been out in Ward 6 the entire week just in our work trucks, driving throughout Ward 6 to identify problematic areas that need to be plowed again, need to be salted, something like that. We definitely understand the frustration. We see it with our own eyes, and we do appreciate everybody's patience as the city continues to clear out the what we are calling snowcrete, which is ice that has formed and has become as solid as concrete itself. But if you notice any areas that are challenging in your SMDs, please just feel free to send me a picture. Or if you don't have a picture, just give me the block number and the street name, and Trey and I are happy to go out there, take a picture of it, and send it to the proper channels, whether that's our Emergency Operations Center at HCMA or snow control at DDOT and DPW, depending on where in the ward it is. I can say that in a meeting that we had between the mayor's office and the council member's office, the only street that was flagged in Northwest was the unit block of F Street Northwest, right by Union Station. Trey and I were able to go out there, flag that for snow control, and we were able to get that plowed. So again, if you have any of those challenges, please just let us know. We're more than happy to go out. But I do have two updates from the office outside of snow. First is about our teacher retention rate. It's really good news. So Mayor Bowser and OSSI, our Office of the State Superintendent of Education, recently announced that the teacher retention rate in DC public schools and DC public charter schools reached a 5-year high in school year 25 to 26, while the district's principal retention rate also continued to rise. So we have seen within the past 5 years a total of 86% of our teachers continuing to work at any school in the school district. That's absolutely phenomenal. We love to keep our wonderful teachers who are the best educators in the country. We definitely make those super important investments to keep them at teaching our students. The district schools retain more experienced and effective educators. DC is ensuring greater consistency through these retention rates to bring more experienced and effective educators to the classroom. And it's going to give students a greater opportunity to learn, to grow, and to succeed when we have really talented, experienced individuals in the classroom. But if you ever want to learn anything more about our teacher retention rate, you can just go to ossi.dc.gov and you can find out more there. The second update that I do have is about a recently passed national security appropriations bill. Again, very good news, which is rare to come out of Congress these days. But thanks to the work of our federal affairs team and our congressional partners, Mayor Bowser was actually able to secure $90 million for emergency planning and our security fund in the recent fiscal 26 national security appropriations bill. So as federal activity increases in the district, and we are attracting more visitors as a result of America's 250 celebration. MPD will need some more support. HCMA will need some more support. So we've got $90 extra million to go towards staffing, to equipment usage, making sure that our streets can stay safe and we can manage our public spaces really well. The bill also includes $40 million, maintains $40 million for DC TAG, the tuition assistance grant, and it includes a much needed increase in grant support, which raises the maximum annual award for a student from $10,000 to $15,000, and the lifetime cap from $50,000 to $75,000. And that is, I believe, the first ever increase since Congresswoman Norton created the program. So really good news. And finally, this is what we're really excited about. The bill also includes protections for DC to continue spending our local revenues in the event of another federal continuing resolution. As you'll recall, in March, there was language put in a continuing resolution to fund the government, which conveniently excluded the district's ability to spend uh, pre, uh, previously approved local revenues. So it essentially took out $1 billion of our budget midway through the fiscal year. So this language in the National Security Appropriations Bill allows us to continue spending our approved fiscal 26 local revenues, regardless of what continuing resolution may come going forward for at least the next fiscal year. But with that, I'm happy to take any questions if there are some.
Great. Thank you for the update, Noah. I have a quick question. I think there's constant confusion about who's responsible for clearing snow when it comes to roads, bike lanes, sidewalks, and alleys. So maybe if you can give
Mhm.
us a quick breakdown, and then if you can remind constituents about how they can report um, the lack of snow clearings
Mhm.
on like roads, sidewalks, or bike lanes, that would be great.
Yes, so bike lanes, I will tell you, DDOT is responsible for clearing bike lanes. For the most part, bridges, roadways, that is DPW's responsibility. When it comes to snow clearing, the maps that we use, like the ArcGIS technology that we use, doesn't organize the streets by wards, but instead zones. And so there are, I believe, 14 zones throughout the city that DPW and DDOT uses. There are zone captains for each zone. So I will say, for example, in ANC 6E, it includes a little bit of Ward 2 and Ward 6, but all of 6E is in Zone 5, and that's run through DPW. And so DPW will be managing the roadway clearings, except bike lanes, which will be DDOT's responsibility. If a resident sees that there is a sidewalk outside of a business or a residential property that has not been cleared out or there's no, navigable walkway, you can report that to 311. That is, and sometimes I'm right there with you. Sometimes it feels like you're just submitting stuff into a void. I promise you, you are not. It really does help with performance metrics and making sure that, it creates a documented submission so we know for quality assurance, quality control, what we need to hit, where, when it was submitted, in the time frame that we need to address it. In terms of alleyways, DPW will clear alleyways that they service for trash, but that does not mean that they clear every single alley in the district. And that will confuse and upset some people. There is no, from what I have been told, that there is no agency within the code, within the DC code, that is given the responsibility for clearing out alleyways. But DPW, by and large, will typically clear out alleyways that they service for trash collection. That way, they can collect the trash. And by the way, if you don't know, trash collection right now is a little bit suspended in residential properties that receive DPW trash collection just because of the ice. Again, we are working very hard to resume normal operations. I think we just began collecting street cans, so like those metal ones that you see on the street corners. So we're collecting those, but expect some residual delays there.
Is there a difference between single family homes and multifamily buildings regarding who's responsible for clearing sidewalks?
Typically, that's a good question. I think if it's a single family home, it's the who if you're the owner, you're the tenant, and the landlord tells the tenant, then it would be that person. If it is a multifamily unit, um, I'm genuinely, I don't know. I don't know, but I can find out for you.
Great. Yeah, I my guess would be that the property manager would have to do
Mhm.
that, but
Yes, and if you
Would I
are in like an
appreciate the
apartment
confirmation?
building, that would be the property management's responsibility if it's like more than 3 units. Also,
Right.
there are some residents who get exemptions from DPW because they might be disabled, they might be a senior, they might be a veteran, something like that. But in that case, to fill that gap, we have our Snow Team Heroes run through the Mayor's Office of Volunteerism and Partnerships, which is also called Serve DC, and they run the Snow Team Heroes list. So if you know somebody who receives that exemption from DPW, you can get them connected to the Snow Team Heroes list, and a volunteer will come out to shovel that walkway in the front of the property.
Great, thank you. Uh, Commissioners, any questions or comments for Noah?
Yeah, I have a quick question. Hey, Noah. My question is for an abandoned building that you're not really sure who owns that, who would be responsible for the sidewalk in front of that and behind it?
Good question. I'm not sure. I can find out for you though.
Thank you.
Other commissioners, any questions or comments for Noah? Or constituents, if you have any comments or questions, you can use the Q&A box or use the raise hand option. Not seeing any. Thank you. As always, we appreciate your updates, Noah, and thank you for joining us. Stay warm and have a good night. Great. See if John can join us.
Okay.
Hi, John. Yep.
Hey, is that better?
Yep. I can hear
Great.
you and see you well.
Excellent. Great. I just wanted to go back to one of the questions that Robert White, Councilmember White, was asked about Museum Square, and the story in the Post. Um, we are planning a visit. I think it's the 4th of February. I'm not sure. We're really trying to push it to be able to get there. There's a group called Save Chinatown DC that is working with those residents and has briefed us a few times in the past. We're hoping to be able to go with Councilmember White as well, but the priority is for us to get there as soon as possible. I have not heard from those residents recently, but I know that I've met with Nashra, who is the woman who is the advocate for them via the Save Chinatown DC group. Those residents are essentially being pushed out and have been for years, which is why things are so dilapidated. I believe they have 5 elevators and none of them work. So I have given the chief elevator um, inspector a heads up as well, and he is fully aware of the situation. So that is a really hard building to get service to in terms of the city, but we are working really hard on it. So I just wanted folks to know that that is definitely on our radar. Okay, second thing is I wanted to introduce our new council member, Donnie Crawford, who got sworn in on the 20th of January. She was on staff and chief of staff for years for Councilmember McDuffie. So she knows how to jump right in terms of serving on the council and what the rules are and, how the council works. So in this interim period, meaning from now until June when the special election happens to fill his seat, she will be serving that role. So we're very excited to have her. I know Councilmember Allen has worked with her for several years. He knows she can step in, especially during the budget process right now. So that's the good news. Let's see. I wanted to mention performance oversight. We definitely need commissioners and neighbors to keep apprised of the council schedule for different oversight hearings. We are in the middle of them. The first thing we do is performance oversight hearings. The next thing we do is budget oversight hearings. Neighbors are welcome to both. If you're an ANC commissioner or representative of a group, you get 5 minutes. If you're a neighbor representing yourself, you get 3. And we would love to have you and see you either in the Wilson building, or you can do it via Zoom. Or you can also submit written testimony to me or the committee director, and I'm happy to pass it along. I have begun tagging every constituent concern that we get in terms of whether it's something I need to remind them when it comes to oversight. So if you get an email from me about oversight, it's specifically because you and I have spoken about it, and it's something that is chronic or needs highlighting in the oversight process. We definitely encourage residents who want to see better performance to sign up and testify. So if you need any guidance, reach out to our office. And then the last thing I want to cover is the traffic cameras. I know there was recently a lot of attention that once the federal DOT was considering a proposal to remove all traffic cameras in the district. This would be part of a request to Congress ultimately, but I know that Councilmember Allen does not support this and has argued that while none of us want to get a ticket, traffic cameras are a key part of slowing down drivers and making our streets safer. I know personally that it has slowed me down on 295, in particular, going to see my mom. Let's see, we finished 2025 with 50% fewer traffic deaths. That is kind of amazing, in part because of Councilmember Allen's STEER Act, which delivered new tools to hold people accountable who rack up dangerous driving violations, no matter what state or city they live in. And I'm happy to take any questions and cover anything that I can for you.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions or comments for John? Or constituents, if you have any questions or comments, you can use the Q&A box or the raise hand option. Okay. Not seeing any. I think your update was very helpful and comprehensive. So
I also
thank
wanted
you
to
again.
speak to Commissioner
Yeah.
Hans's question to Noah about the abandoned buildings. That building that you had mentioned, that's near Judiciary House, I think we have sent that to the downtown bid
I saw that,
to be
Shane.
able to help out.
Yep.
So I think that'll be taken care of. But in terms of having somebody able to be able to reach out to on a regular basis, DOB would have that on file, but that may be just a mailing address. So the question still sort of remains. But in the meantime, we do have our downtown bid next to that building that probably will jump in. So it's not perfect, but I know the bid in Southwest, for example, has been a huge help in the neighborhood as well. I'm sure the clean team in Mount Vernon Triangle also has been super busy with cleanup in the neighborhood and keeping things open and viable to cross streets and all that good stuff. So I just want to
Yeah,
mention that really quickly.
I appreciate it. I saw the chain, and so it looks like they're going to reach out to the developer now to fix it. But yeah, the question does still remain though of who is responsible for abandoned buildings. So I think that's what Noah's going to look into, and you will as well. So I appreciate that.
Yep.
Actually, before we wrap up, I have a quick question. I know that the Office of Council Member Allen is following up with a specific building, but what happens in the case of the heating system not working in the whole building during, cold weather like we're witnessing today? I know that tenants have been reporting the issue to Department of Buildings, but until the issue is resolved, like what would be a short-term fix?
So the OAG has had recently given some new teeth to be able to
Yeah.
tackle this kind of issue. Yesterday, I spent a lot of the day working on a building that had no hot water, and then some folks had no heat. The two are not connected, thankfully, but it took me a long time to even establish that DC water was not part of the issue, so that it was actually on the building's side. So I think acting quickly with residents who know who know are familiar with the problem, but also can be talking to their other neighbors and make sure that the news is communicated back and forth um, to either. I mean, well, first of all, please come to me so that we can get it over to the Department of Buildings and if need be, the OAG to quickly step in as fast as possible. It is definitely on the owner to provide heat and air conditioning so that it's habitable.
Yes. Great. Thank you again for following up on these cases and for the update.
Okay. Thanks a lot, 6E.
Have a good night. We will talk to you soon. Moving to the next item, which is a public safety update from MPD. Anyone here with MPD first or fifth district? And there's Lieutenant Archer. But if anyone else from MPD's first or fifth district, please use the raise hand option to be promoted. Good evening, Lieutenant. You have been promoted as a panelist, so you should be able to hear an update.
Good afternoon. Good evening. How's everybody doing?
Good evening. We're doing well. Thank you for joining us.
Hope everyone is staying safe and warm on the inside as we are enduring the remnants of what's left of this really bad storm that we had last week. We're still responding to calls and digging folks out who happen to live or travel on the side streets and are stuck. But we're gonna do the best that we can to get through this. I don't have much to report to you guys tonight. I guess we can still say Happy New Year. I haven't seen many of you since this year started. It's more or less just been a whirlwind here in the first district. We're just continuing our parts of what we had going last year. We reported out on some pretty good numbers of things kind of dropping off in all phases of crime, whether it relates to violent crime, property crime, just really just kind of just continue to smash the gas on that. I think with the weather kind of helped us out to keep that momentum going as we haven't seen too much of an increase in this particular area. I don't think we have any part ones to report out on, which is always good. But all is well, more or less, in the first district. We're putting things back together. I want to thank everyone in the community for their support on behalf of the members of the first district who've touched in with us as it relates to the passing of Officer Terry Bennett. We buried him, I believe, on last week, and we're just pressing on. But nothing negative to report. I'm not going to use the Q word, but things have been peaceful so far in the first district. I'll take some questions if you guys have any. I know you've been on for a while.
Great. Thank you for the update. Commissioners, any questions for MPD?
Yeah, I have one question. There was a car that was on fire on Massachusetts Avenue Monday morning at 1 a.m. Between 4th and 5th Street. Was just curious, was there any malintent behind that, or was that just like an accident or something like that? But I just heard an explosion around that time, so I was just curious to know. I know obviously the fire department responded, but MPD was there too. So
Yeah, I've looking into that. It was to the nature of some malintent or something like that. I probably would have fell on my radar, but it might have just been a local or something that the fire department responded out to. You said it was at 4th and Mass at about 1 a.m. on Monday morning?
yeah, 1 a.m. Monday morning between 4th and 5th on Massachusetts Avenue.
Any lookout on the vehicle or anything like that?
It was like an SUV, it looks like. It was like a silver SUV. I'm looking at the video now, and um, my thought is probably maybe it just got stuck in the snow, and as it tried to accelerate, it just, blew up because it couldn't get out. That's my thought, but I was just curious.
Yeah, it didn't fall on my radar, but I'll
Oh,
definitely look
okay.
into that and see if I can get some information for you.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Any questions or comments for MPD? Okay. I think there's a constituent who wants to ask a question.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
Good evening, everyone. Lieutenant Tut, PSA 101. In reference to that vehicle that caught on fire, I do believe, I was working that day. I do believe that it was a local, due to the snow. The call came out. It was no foul play or no bad intent. It was just a car that was already on fire. The fire department was there and put the fire out. I think due to like an accident or something like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great. Thank you for the update. Constituents, any questions or comments for MPD? Not seeing any. Thank you for the update and for joining us. Stay warm out there, and we will talk to you soon.
So you all be safe. Take care.
Thank you. Moving to the next item, which is a request for support for a special events application for the Rock and Roll Marathon. Let's see. Diane Thomas.
Hello.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening. See, we get my camera working. All right. It was a little dark, but I will get on this quickly. Oh, thank you for pulling that up. I appreciate it. I'm going to be pretty brief. You guys, a lot of are probably very familiar with this event. It's in its 18th year. It's the St. Jude's Rock and Roll Half Marathon and 5K. It did used to have a full marathon, and that was eliminated several years ago, and the 5K was added. This event is Saturday, March 21st. And it starts at 14th and Constitution, the half marathon, with about 13,000 runners. That's going to kick off at 8 a.m. from 14th and Constitution. The 5K starts at 7:45. That's going to be a smaller event with about 3,000 runners. You're in ANC 6E. You will host both the half and the 5K. So you'll see the 5K runners. They're going to enter your ANC on 4th and Mass. You're going to come up 4th, turn right on K, go left on North Capitol. In the southbound lane, they're going to be going north. They're going to make a U-turn, come back to K, and down to 4th and back to the U.S. Capitol area for their finish. You'll also see the 13,000 half marathoners because they're going to be coming southbound on North Capitol Street, picking up part of the route for the 5K. So you'll see them enter into that area, into your ANC, coming down North Capitol. They'll make that right on K as well. They'll go to 4th and make that left going southbound on 4th Street, and they'll go all the way down to E, pick up 6th Street, and then they'll finish their race on Pennsylvania Avenue. Total time closures, which is what you guys want to know. You'll see the first half 5K are starts at 7:45, so they're moving pretty quick. You'll probably see that first one come in about 7:55 in the morning. And then they'll clear out pretty quick as well with 3,000 runners. You'll see the half marathoners, they'll be coming in. They're about mile 10 when they get to your ANC, so they're pretty close to the end there. And they will usually clear out of there. I think last year and previous years, they've cleared out of North Capitol, K Street, and 4th pretty early. By about noon, I think that street opened up. Everything kind of opened up, 12:15-ish. They clear out of there. Points to remember, there's no parking along the course, so MPD requires no cars to be on South Capitol Street, K Street, and those blocks of 4th Street that are in your ANC. There will be no parking signs going up about 3 days before the event, so you'll see those on Wednesday. March 18th. We'll put up core signs to remind people that it's coming through. Those 22 by 22 core signs you'll see along North Capitol, probably a few on K and some on 4th. All these closures, like I trying to get around that morning on March 21st, all the street closures and the whole for the entire event will be uploaded into Google Maps and to Waze to kind of show you guys paths that you can get around streets that aren't main streets that are not impacted. New York Avenue, open all day. Massachusetts Avenue, open all day. Rhode Island Avenue, open all day. As the runners will go underneath. They'll go underneath. New York Avenue, sorry, and Rhode Island Avenue, they go underneath. What will be impacted is K Street. I know there's a lot of new buildings online along K, those first couple blocks of K Street. So I know our staff are in touch with property managers there to make sure all the residents there have egress to get out. Won't be able to get out on K Street, but they'll be able to get out. Hopefully, they will have arrangements to get out other courses with MPD's help and guidance. We'll make sure that they are not locked into their buildings there on K Street. So we are working with property managers there. Same with 4th Street. And I don't think this is in your ANC, but there's a market on I Street. The downtown bid, I believe, does. That we are also making concessions to make sure people can get in and out of that farmer's market on the morning of the event. And again, these SMDs impacted are 6E05 and 6E07, I think are the two, if I got my numbers correct for you guys. And music on the course. It is the rock and roll half marathon in 5K. There is a band right there at the corner of North Capitol and K, right in front of kind of the corner of Gonzaga's campus there. And it was there last year as well. And I think that's the only band you'll see. There's some cheerleaders at 4th and K, but no amplified music at that corner with all the residents that live in that area there. So that's in a nutshell the event. I can answer any questions from commissioners about the event closures, anything like that.
Great. Thank you, Diane. This is very helpful. Commissioners, any questions for Diane? Personally, I don't have any concerns. We've supported this in the past, and I don't have any concerns. But commissioners, do you have any questions or comments? Constituents who are joining us, do you have any questions or comments for Diane? You can use the Q&A box or use the raised hand option. And as a reminder, the request is to support this special event application for the Rock and Roll DC Half Marathon and 5K. It will be held on Saturday, March 21st, right?
Yeah.
2026. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, not seeing any questions or comments. Thank you again for joining us. We can pull the slides down and we'll move this to discussion and vote on a resolution to support this special application. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks. Have a good night.
You too.
Okay. Moving this to discussion, commissioners, do you have any comments, concerns, or do you feel ready to vote on a resolution?
Yeah, I feel ready. We don't do this every year, so no concerns for me.
Okay. Last call for sharing your opinions. Okay. Cool. So I make a motion to vote on a resolution that expresses ANC 6E support for the special event application for the Rock and Roll DC Half Marathon and 5K that will be held on Saturday, March 21st, 2026. Anyone would like to second?
Yep, I second that.
Okay, so Commissioner Abukaloff moved and Commissioner Han seconded a motion that expresses ANC 6E support for the special event application for the Rock and Roll DC Half Marathon and 5K that will be held on Saturday, March 21st, 2026. I'll be calling on you to vote by yes, no, or abstain. Commissioner Watts.
Aye.
Commissioner, okay, Commissioner Rogers.
Yay.
I vote aye, and then Commissioner Kaufman,
Aye.
Commissioner Prince,
Aye.
and then Commissioner Hans.
Aye.
Great. So the motion passes with 6 ayes, 0 nays, and no abstains, and we will be sending you the signed resolution, Diane, soon. Okay, moving to the next agenda item, which is a vote on methods to advertise monthly meetings. And historically, we have voted on approving two methods. One of them is the website, and the second one is the monthly newsletter. Do you have any suggestions? Commissioners, do you feel good with continuing with the same methods for advertising the monthly meetings?
Yeah, for me personally, I think it's been pretty good. I know Dale and I usually meet like the week of to send out the newsletter and kind of put it all together, and it's been working pretty well. And that goes out to about 700 people. So, yeah, I'm I'm good with what we've been doing on that end.
Um, yeah, I wasn't familiar with that number. Uh, I think the newsletter is a good vehicle. Of course, we announce on the website too, and those who are interested can find it. I wonder whether we could try to publicize the newsletter a little more. I'm not quite sure how, but there might be some potential to gain some more subscribers because we have theoretically, what, 18,000 people in 6E. I don't know if that's people or registered voters. In any case, 700 we're not reaching huge number, but maybe we could come up with some ways to spread the word.
He, I actually just thought of an idea with that. Maybe we can reach out to Councilmember Allen's office because he sends out a newsletter with maybe a little blurb that says, "Hey, if you want to be
Yeah,
added to the 6E
yeah,
one, and if there's any other
good
commission,
idea.
maybe yeah." So I can take on that
Yes.
action.
And then
Uh,
maybe when the weather's better, maybe we can show up at Fresh Farm at some point. We should be at the Cobb Park opening if and when that happens, and so forth.
yeah, like get a table or something at the farmers market.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Okay.
sounds good.
But
Yeah,
and generally, I do agree. The newsletter and the website are the way to go. I don't know what other ANCs do. Open to other
yeah.
ideas.
I think there's a difference here. I believe it's the statute that requires to use two of the four approved methods, but then you can do any additional advertisement and outreach.
Hmm.
And I think we have historically um, picked the two methods, and I believe one of the remaining two is posting in a public newspaper. Um, and then I think we have done posting flyers in SMDs, which I don't know if they have been very effective. Especially that you cannot cover like every single road and um, yeah, pick and
The amount of work
choose
that takes to have
that
to
to
physically post.
printing and then like
Yeah.
driving or
Yeah.
walking. Yeah. I think I mean, for getting subscribers, they could be potential if commissioners feel strongly about certain buildings that they cannot access. You can ask the property manager to post something in the lobby or share, a blurb in their newsletter if they have one, or just like post a QR code by the building. think that's like one thing. But anyway, I think this is more about the statute asking us to vote on two approved methods, but you can definitely do additional advertisement. Other commissioners, any thoughts, questions, comments before we vote?
Yeah, actually, Commissioner Prince and I were talking about this. So something that I do, at least with the buildings in my SMD, is I've created like a flyer that just kind of says what the ANC does, and then a second slide that says like here's what's coming up. So if anybody wants to use that template, I'm happy to share it. And I actually even physically posted at Judiciary House because they don't have like a digital board. So I can email it to you guys, or I can even share it now if people are curious. But that could be another way to like engage at an individual level.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. Yeah, if you
Mhm.
can share it by email, um, everyone. Commissioner Rogers, do you have
Uh,
anything to share?
yes, I'll go along with Commissioner Prince, right? His idea seems to be pretty good, right? And I don't think we should change anything. That's my opinion.
Great. Any other comments or thoughts before we vote? Okay, great. So I move to make a motion to approve two methods to advertise ANC 60 monthly meetings, which are the monthly newsletter and the ANC 60 website. Anyone would like to second?
Second.
Great. So Commissioner Abukaloff moved and Commissioner Rogers seconded a motion to vote on a resolution that approves two methods to advertise ANC 60 monthly meetings, which are the ANC 60 website and the monthly newsletter. I'll be calling on you to vote by yes, no, or abstain, or aye, nay, or abstain. Commissioner Watts,
Yes.
Commissioner Rogers,
Yes.
aye, Commissioner Kaufman,
Aye.
and then Commissioner Prince,
Aye.
Commissioner Hans.
I
Great. So the motion moves with 6 ayes, 0 nays, and no abstains. Next item, also an administrative item, which is voting on the schedule. There was one suggestion. So last year we did the last Thursday of each month. There's a suggestion about moving the monthly meeting to the last Wednesday of each month. I personally don't have any issues with that. Again, if that last Wednesday is a holiday, we can adjust the schedule. I think so. Next month it would be February 25th, March 25th, um, April 29th, May 27th, um, June 24th, July 29th. We have the August recess, September 30th, October 28th, November 25th. That's the day before Thanksgiving. But as we get closer, we can vote on moving it. And then December 30th, we can also discuss if we want to move it to mid-December before the holidays. But again, I think as we get closer um, to November meeting, we can make a decision about the last 2 months. Any thoughts about moving it to the last Wednesday instead of the last Thursday?
Yeah, that works for me. And I was wondering if we could actually just vote now also for the week earlier of November and December just to get out of the way. Um, like I think that's an easy decision to make, you know? And that way we don't forget about it, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't mind that. So for
So yeah, the 18th for November would be like the Wednesday before, and then
yeah,
the 23rd of December would be the Wednesday before,
would that's also the day
or 2 days before, yeah,
before
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. Would we want to do maybe the 16th
Yeah,
to
I'd be
be
okay
on
with
the
that.
safe side? Okay. So I'll do let's do two resolutions. One just for the last ones of each month, and then maybe one for the November and December meetings. So before we vote, how does the last Wednesday of each month work for everyone? That worked for me.
It works for me. Um,
Okay.
yeah, on a couple of occasions when we shift in November and December, I'll have a conflict. I'll have to miss something else, but those are exceptions. So, yeah.
Okay. Commissioner Kaufman, Watts, Commissioner Rogers, any thoughts? Does this work for you?
Works for me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Say that again. My mic was off.
all good. Does the last Wednesday of each month work for you? Meeting on the
Yeah,
last Wednesday of each month. Okay.
yeah.
It
Yes, it
does
is.
occur to me. I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to speak over you, Commissioner Rogers. Um, uh, I haven't checked whether any other ANC is meeting at the same time, which might put a bind into for some of our regular guests, could cause a conflict, but I'm not aware of that. Um, or whether they do attend those other meetings. Um, I can try
Oh, that's
to
true.
look, but I do like that date, the last Wednesday. I just want to get off Thursdays. Thursdays and Tuesdays are a
Right.
problem.
Donna's still on.
Yeah.
Should we ask her maybe?
Yeah.
That would
Let's
be,
see.
The other
yeah,
thing is we could also move them in the meeting, right? Because usually we do in the beginning. Maybe we do it towards the middle or something if they have other
yes.
commitments.
Yeah. John, does the last Wednesday of each month work for you, or do you have other ANC meetings that you have to attend?
Yes, that does work for me. 6D, which is the other one I cover, and Noah probably as well. Um, they run on Mondays, so that seems just fine to me. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. Great. That's a good point. Commissioner Prince, I'm glad that you um raised that. I also don't know like if some commissions will also be changing
We
their
can't know that. Yeah.
meeting schedule. We can't know right now.
That's right.
Um yeah, but it's good to know that John will be able to make it. I can also reach out to Noah, and I think now with having Noah and Trey, I wonder if we have two um mockers, I think they call them,
Go.
from the mayor's office. So I think maybe they can rotate if there's a conflict, and like each one of them would attend one ANC meeting. Okay, sounds good. So I'll let me first make move to make a motion to vote on a resolution that sets our monthly meetings on the last Wednesday of each month. Anyone would like to second?
Well, I'm willing to second. Could I ask that the resolution include an adjustment for November and December? Unless you'd
Oh, I
prefer.
was gonna do two separate
Well, you're
resolutions
going to
just
do
to
the
make it.
separate. Okay, well then I'll
Yeah.
second
Okay.
the motion
Yeah.
of last
I don't want
Wednesdays.
it to be very long and confusing. Okay. So Commissioner Abukaloff moved and Commissioner Prince seconded a motion that sets ANC 60 monthly meeting at the last Wednesday of each month. I'll be calling on you to vote. Commissioner Watts, Commissioner Rogers, Commissioner Kaufman,
Aye.
aye. Commissioner Hans,
Aye.
Commissioner Prince,
Aye.
Commissioner Watts, are you able to vote? Commissioner Rogers, are you? Oh, go ahead, Commissioner Watts.
I didn't see her go off mute.
Oh, so that I saw her go off mute. Okay, that's fine. So the motion passes with 4 ayes, 2 abstains, and 0 nays. So I'll make a separate motion. I move to make a motion to set the last 2 meetings of 2026 on November 18th
Excuse
and
me, okay, I'm back
November.
on.
Sorry, could you say that again?
I'm back on. My mic was off.
All good, no problem. So I move to make a motion to set the last 2 meetings of 2026 on November 18th and December 16th. Anyone would like to second?
I second.
Great. So Commissioner Bukala moved to make a motion, and Commissioner Rogers seconded a motion that sets the last 2 meetings of 2026 on November 18th and December 16th. I'll be calling on you to vote. Commissioner Watts, Commissioner, okay. Commissioner Rogers,
Aye.
aye. Commissioner Kaufman,
Aye.
Commissioner Prince,
Aye.
and Commissioner Hans.
Aye.
The motion moves with 6 ayes, 0 nays, and no abstains. The second item is to vote on continuing the meeting minute services by Karen. I think her last name is pronounced Yale, right? Or Yale.
I think it's
Yeah.
Yela. Yeah, Yela, I
Ye-
think.
Yela. Okay. Thanks for the correction. I think that has been working fine. Oh, go ahead, Commissioner Prince.
Yeah, I just want to note that because we're about to vote also, and for the minutes, that Commissioner Carson has joined the meeting, and
Oh,
perhaps you
great.
could be promoted to panelist.
Oh, thanks for flagging that. Great. So just for meeting minute purposes, flagging that Commissioner Carson joined at 8:26 p.m. Hello, Commissioner Carson. Okay. Does anyone have any comments,
No.
concerns about continuing the meeting minute services by Karen? I personally don't have any issues, concerns.
Done from me.
Okay. So not hearing any, in move to make a motion to vote on a resolution that approves continuing the meeting minute services by Karen. Is it Yeli? Sorry.
Yela, I think. Yeah.
Yeli. Yeli. Okay, sorry. Anyone would like to second?
Sure. I'll second it.
Okay, so Commissioner Abukalov moved and Commissioner Khan seconded a motion that approves continuing the meeting minute services by Karen Yela. I'll be calling on you to vote by a yes, no, or you can abstain. Commissioner Watts,
Yes.
Commissioner, okay. Commissioner Rogers,
Aye.
and then I vote aye. Commissioner Kaufman,
Aye.
Commissioner Carson,
Aye.
and then Commissioner Prince,
Aye.
Commissioner Hans.
Aye.
Great. The motion passes with 7 ayes, 0 nays, and no abstains. And now moving to the next item, which is the Q4 FY25 financial report. Commissioner Kaufman, are you able to pull the report on the screen?
Yep, 1 second.
Thank you.
Everyone see it?
Yes, it's rather small.
Oh, okay.
Can you make it larger?
I will try to zoom in. Better?
Hey, Hank.
Yes.
Okay, present, we have the ANC 6E quarterly financial report for Q1. The district allotment, this is the funds that the district sent to us. We have $4,861.29. And scrolling on down, these are the funds we dispersed, which is the only funds we have is the POS, which is funds that went to current for 3 months. It's $250 per meeting minutes. She provided us with the meeting minutes. Altogether, once again, that's $750. And then we'll scroll down to the ending checking balance. And that brings us to $129,394.02. And our beginning balance, I'm sorry if you can scroll back up to the top. Sorry, I missed it. I'm not for sure if I said it, but if not, if I did, I'll say it again. I apologize. $125,282.73 was our beginning balance for this quarter, for that quarter, Q1. Anyone have any questions or concerns?
Yes, straightforward. Commissioners, any questions for Commissioner Carson? Okay, not hearing any, can vote on approving the report. So I think we can pull the report down. Commissioner Kaufman, thank you. So I move to make a motion to approve the Q4 fiscal year 2025 financial report for ANC 6E. Commissioner Carson, would you like to second?
Sure, I second.
So Commissioner Abukalov moved and Commissioner Carson seconded a motion to vote on approving the. Oh, go ahead, Commissioner Prince.
I'm a little confused because the graphic on screen said Q1 2026, which I would understand to be October 1st to December 31st. And the agenda shows Q4 FY25. Which is it? What are we voting on? Isn't it Q1 2026? FY26?
No,
Q1.
that could be. It's
I think
Q1
there's an error on the agenda. I think we're
on the
voting on
agenda.
FY26 first quarter. Which
Oh, okay. I
October,
may have just copied.
September, November, December. Actually, it should
Yeah,
be 3
maybe I
months.
just copied
Yeah, it's for Q1, October, November,
Q1.
December.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. So the agenda item was incorrect. Okay. let me redo that. Thank you for flagging that. So I move to make a motion to approve the Q1 FY 2026 financial report for ANC 6E. Commissioner Carson, would you like to second?
Yes, I second.
Okay, so Commissioner Abukalov moved and Commissioner Carson seconded a motion to approve the Q1 fiscal year 2026 financial report. I'll be calling on you to vote by yes, no, or abstain. Commissioner Watts,
Yes.
Commissioner Carson,
Aye.
Commissioner Rogers, Commissioner Kaufman,
Aye.
Aye.
I, Commissioner Prince,
Aye.
and then Commissioner Hans.
Aye.
Great. So the resolution passes with 7 ayes, 0 nays, and no abstains. And then moving to the next item, which is the open forum. As a reminder, any commissioner or constituent may raise an issue for discussion. We usually have a limit of 2 minutes per item, and then we have additional time for ANC response. Start with commissioners. Any comments, anything you would like to raise, any questions? You can start by mentioning that I believe we should have an ANC commissioner for 6E04 soon. Saw that 2 people filed initially, but then I believe that only 1 candidate actually submitted signatures. So I believe if they meet the qualifications for like residency and having, I think it's like 25 um, valid signatures from the single member district, then it would be a straightforward outcome with it's not a competitive race anymore. So um, I think I should get a notification from the DC Board of Elections next week, so I'll keep everyone posted, which would be great. We will again have 9 commissioners with no vacancies, so that would be great. And then I saw a comment or a question about whether we're considering a grant process for neighbors, and we have talked about it. I think what we can do is reach out to the office of ANC again and see if they can provide us with a written list of requirements for how the grants could be used, and then who are the eligible organizations who can apply, and then can have an application process on the website and move forward with that. Commissioners, anything you would like to share or discuss?
If I could jump in here, maybe I'll
Yeah.
just share that there's a process underway. I believe it's being led by National Capital Planning. What is it? Commission involving Pennsylvania Avenue. It's called the New Pennsylvania Avenue project. It's a very long-term thing involving modifications of sight lines and protection of historic properties and so forth. And I became aware of it. I was invited to be a convening party, so I attended the first meeting, and it will be ongoing. There will be a public meeting on February 5th at 1 p.m. It's one of many agenda items. If anybody wants to hop onto that, I think it's a Zoom, and you can find it on the www.ncpc.gov/live. And my particular interest, of course, is just the area of Pennsylvania Avenue that runs from sort of the courtyard, where Louisiana Avenue comes down to Pennsylvania, over to 6th Street in front of John Marshall Park, which will be the subject of some attention, I think, according to the first meeting as well. And then it goes on beyond there. And I also raised the issue, I think fruitlessly, to be frank, though, of perhaps addressing the issue of the Albert Pike statue. I don't expect we will get any traction because it was reinstalled as a result of an executive order out of the White House. But since this is a long-term process, it's always useful to raise embarrassing things like the Albert Pike statue, which is a memorial to a Confederate general, and I believe he was a KKK leader, and just bad news. We shouldn't have that there, and it's in my SMD, and I'd like to see it gone. So so that process is going on.
Thank you for the update. Would you like to introduce that resolution about that statute next month? I mean, it's
No,
up to you.
it's premature. I need to find out more about how the whole thing goes. The response when I raised the question as to whether the process could consider that particular memorial was basically no. They politely said no, it wasn't within the scope of work. But I will continue to pay attention to the process as it goes along and join the meetings as I can.
Yeah, got it. Thank you. Other commissioners, anything you would like to discuss or raise? We can move to constituents. I see one raised hand. Again, you can use the raise hand option or type questions or comments in the Q&A box.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I don't seem to have a camera option, but I'm glad you can hear me. My name is Kishan Putta, and I am an ANC commissioner like you guys, but I also work for DC Health Link, and I wanted to remind all of you and your constituents that Saturday, January 31st, this Saturday night is the deadline for your constituents to enroll in health insurance. After that, it is hard to do so. So please let them know if they need health insurance to enroll by Saturday night. Let you also know, you commissioners have an opportunity to get on the radio to do so, to remind your constituents. We'll be at Ben's Chili Bowl with radio stations tomorrow and Saturday. This is on U Street, 12th and U, 1208 U Street. Please join us all day Friday, all day Saturday, with a bunch of radio stations to do shout outs. Shout outs to the community to get enrolled by Saturday night. And we hope to see you there at Ben's Chili Bowl.
Great. Thank you so much for the update.
Absolutely. Have a good evening.
Have a good night. Other constituents who are with us, do you have any questions, comments, anything you would like to raise? You can use the Q&A box or use the raised hand option. Okay. Last call for questions or comments. Okay. Not seeing anything. So the next meeting will be held on the last Wednesday of February, which is the 25th of February. And commissioners, anything you would like to discuss before we wrap up? I think this is like one of the few meetings that ends before 9 p.m. If not the first since I started a couple years ago. Okay.
Sorry, I have one thing I
So
just wanted to
oh,
bring
go
up.
ahead.
Just Commissioner Carson, since you came a little bit later, just wanted to update you. So now Commissioner Prince is the treasurer, but secretary is open. So if you are interested in doing secretary instead of treasurer, that is an option. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay, thank you for telling me.
Yep. And
Yeah, I'm glad that you actually raised that. We probably should have Commissioner Prince and Commissioner Carson meet to do the transition because I think there are like some official
yeah,
processes, right, to transition
Yeah, I'll have to give them the checkbooks and
the
all of that
role.
good stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, and
So
even
if
Wells
you can,
Fargo, we have to get him added and stuff too.
yeah. So if you
We'll
can
take care
find
of it.
time soon, that would be good.
And just would encourage anybody who has not part of executive board to, please step up if you can. So it would be great if we could have all four filled. And obviously, we're all busy, but we all know what we're signing up for. So would appreciate it if there's somebody here who has some bandwidth who could step up.
Yep. Maybe the new commissioner would be interested.
Yeah.
So we can definitely check. Um, great. Any other issues you would like to raise, discuss before we wrap up? Okay. Not seeing any. Right now it's 8:44 p.m. and I make a motion to adjourn ANC 6E January 2026 meeting. Anyone would like to second?
Second.
Yeah. Commissioner Abukalaf made a motion and Commissioner Hans seconded a motion to adjourn ANC 6E January 29, 2026 meeting. Be calling on you to vote by yes, no, or abstain. Commissioner Watts, Commissioner Rogers,
Yes.
I, Commissioner Kaufman,
Aye.
Commissioner Carson,
Hi.
Commissioner Prince,
Aye.
and Commissioner Hans.
Aye.
Great. The motion passes with 7 ayes, 0 nays, and no abstains. Thanks again for joining us. And again, the next meeting will be on the last Wednesday of February, which will be February 25th, 2026. Thank you for joining us and have a good night.
Good night.
Yep.
Good night.